Hello, my name is Sarah.
And I'm Aaron.
And this is That RV Over There. And guess what? Today we're going to be talking at you. Are you excited?
You love it. You love it.
For 2 months in the beginning of 2024, we took our rig, Hightower, over the border into Baja, California, Mexico with several friends and traveled around for 2 months. We learned a lot. Some good stuff, some not so good stuff. So we are here to let you know the things we wish we would have known, so maybe you can learn from our mistakes. How about that? And here we go. Number 10.
If you have some sort of strict diet, you may not be able to follow that diet the whole time.
It's just about being flexible. What we didn't anticipate was that we couldn't find the things that we get on a regular basis at the grocery stores here in America in the grocery stores in Mexico. The grocery store offerings tend to be pretty sparse, and they're pretty much the same across the board, no matter what town you are shopping in. So we were very quickly out of our lovely morning oat milk creamer and had to improvise. We tried rice milk, we tried some other options, and eventually just settled on good old-fashioned leche. We didn't really have a choice. So that is something that I think we would do differently next time, is bring as much of our oat milk creamer as we possibly could. Our creamer does come in shelf-stable packaging, so we could really stock up and have enough for however long we wanted to travel in Baja.
And then what about if your pet has some sort of specific diet?
Yes, so Pam also eats Tiki Cat in a can. We're very ingredient conscious, and although they have pet food available in all the stores, it was not the pet food we really wanted to be feeding Pam. So at a certain point, we were good until we weren't. And she got the McDonald's version of cat food, and she loved it. Don't get me wrong, she wasn't upset, but we really wanted her to have her regular food just to keep everything, just to keep her healthy.
Yep.
So unfortunately, we did not plan well for that. We thought we did. We thought we brought enough. We did not.
No.
And so just be prepared with the amount of pet food you would need to be able to maintain your pet's diet throughout the course of your stay, or go to hand making the meals. You can always get whole ingredients at the grocery stores, chicken, and if you have taurine or other vitamins with you, buy it in bulk, take it with you, make their food on the road, and then you will have plenty. Number 9.
Stay stocked up on cash.
ATMs are few and far between. I had anticipated that we would use our credit card for the most things, so we didn't have to rely on cash, but Baja Mexico is very much a cash society. The large towns obviously take cards. There are ATMs there, and you can get cash out. But if you are in between large towns, you are SOL. Pretty much. You are not going to find an ATM. You may not find a gas station that takes cards, and you may not find a restaurant that takes cards. So you really should have as much cash, pesos we're talking about here, as many pesos as you need to fill your gas tank.
Yeah.
That would be kind of our baseline.
I agree.
Anything over that, a bonus. I mean, I think it'd be like 3,000 pesos, 3,500 pesos to fill this thing. We would get out like 4,000 pesos at a time.
Yeah.
It's just better to be have more pesos than you potentially would need.
Absolutely.
Number 8.
Get gas wherever you have the opportunity.
Always be topped up on gas. There was a long stretch between San Felipe and Guerrero Negro where we did not encounter a gas station. There was one, but they only took cash.
Relating to the last point.
Yes. So if you don't have enough cash to fill a 55-gallon gas tank like we had, it may be a problem. So definitely have cash. See number 9. And also just top up.
Yeah.
Plan out your gas stops. Make sure that if you are traveling in and out of the city quite a bit, that you know that before you leave that big town with that gas station, that you have topped up, that you filled up your gas tank. Number 7.
Know some Spanish.
Yeah, you really got to know Spanish. And we had all kind of like gotten the apps on our phones and were practicing, but not going too hard at it. Once I got into Baja, I really started hitting Duolingo hard because it really became apparent that not everybody speaks English. That's on us. That's on us. We should be speaking Spanish when you go to a Spanish country. Totally. You know, there is this kind of false sense of proximity that, like, because it's close, they know English, but why don't we know Spanish? Right. They come here, and why don't we know Spanish, right? Yeah. It's the same thing. So know Spanish. I'm not saying being fluent, but knowing how to navigate daily life.
Basics.
Going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Going to the gas station. Restaurants. You know, doing outdoor activities, things like that. You know, if you want to rent a kayak or if you want to get a campground spot, those types of things are really, really valuable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Also know the exchange rate. That's a good one too.
Good idea.
Number 6.
So just like up here, down there, we utilize the iOverlander app.
Yeah, the reviews are very pretty much up to the minute. Somebody could have left a review 2 days prior. Pay very close attention to the reviews, and it really got us from dump station to dump station, water purification spot to water purification spot. It's super, super helpful and gives you quite a lot of information for the things down the road that you could never anticipate. iOverlander is good. Also, in that same vein, there is no public land in Baja, California, or Mexico. You're not going to find national forest, you're not going to find national park or BLM land down there. So anticipate that if you find a place to stay, a nice place on the beach, that there may be a potential for somebody that drives up to you and says, this is 250 pesos a night.
Yeah.
Also a good reason to have cash, right?
Yeah, right.
So also pay them. It is their country. It's just about a mutual respect that we are traveling down there as tourists, as guests, and we want to be as thoughtful and as possible, because we don't want places and areas to be barred for tourists because of bad behavior, right? Nobody wants that. And here we go with number 5.
It's okay to go slow over the bad highway roads.
Yeah. You know how on I-10 there's some really bad parts and you just blow over them at 60, 70, 80 miles per hour? Don't do that here. The potholes are beyond potholes. We were going down how we thought was carefully down this pretty bad patch of road and ended up breaking our shock absorber. On our way back up, we had to be extremely careful going over that section of road again. So I would just say take your time. Always take your time. You're not going to be able to get up to 70, 80 miles per hour. The roads are just too windy and narrow anyway. So just enjoying the scenery. take your time, and it'll be safer for you and for the other people on the road. Number 4.
Don't always listen to the gringos' recommendations for restaurants.
Yeah, so we got so many recommendations for this one restaurant in Ejido, San Lucas, and we were like, well, we gotta go. And so we all hiked up there, and it was the worst food we've had in Baja. Like, it was...
Or even America.
It was like Americanized, but the mix was weird. It was not good.
Garlic bread instead of chips.
Yeah, it was strange.
The menu was weird.
But the good news of that is across the way was one of our favorite restaurants.
Yeah, where the locals went.
Palapa La Abuela.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
Yep.
And the people are amazing
Yep.
and sweet and kind. And it's gorgeous. And they have really good margaritas.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about that place.
Yeah, I miss that place. So, yeah, I would look at where the locals go and kind of go from there. Number 3.
Test for allergies and bring meds.
In North America, I feel like what would be the danger? What could I be allergic to that I haven't already been exposed to?
Yeah.
However, different countries use different ingredients for different types of food. What you could ingest for the first time that your body doesn't love. So I did have Benadryl with me when I had my allergic reaction. But, being prepared, maybe having some steroids with you, an EpiPen, especially if you have allergies that make you that could put you into anaphylactic shock, that would be something that you really want to take with you. Also, know your pharmacy. So know where the closest pharmacy is, potentially where the closest hospital is. Know the medications and what they are in Spanish. Prednisone is prednisona. So
Yep.
It's really I didn't have an issue with any food that was handmade. I did have an issue with food that was packaged.
Yep.
So there you go.
Pharmacy tourism is really big in Mexico. So
Yes.
you can find pharmacies, that's for sure.
Yes, and you can get things over the counter that you can't get in America. So it really saved me quite a lot of time. In America, I would have had to go to urgent care,
Right.
the emergency room,
Yeah.
sat for a few hours,
Yeah.
paid thousands of dollars, or
Yeah.
and then got sent home with the medication that I just got at the pharmacy in
Right.
about 20 minutes. So,
Right.
all right, and number 2.
Cheap campgrounds aren't always cheap.
So we were told that, camping and campgrounds in Baja, super cheap, $10 a night everywhere you go. They're plentiful. That was not the case. That is not our experience.
Where we went, no.
In Baja, they were pretty much on par with no services campgrounds up here. $15 to $25 a night. And also that was a variable. So we were going to go stay at a campground that was $15, $20 a night.
When we first stayed
when
there.
we first stayed there, and then it jumped up to 60. So it really is not as inexpensive as one would think. And the number one thing we wished we had known before traveling in Baja, Mexico is...
I did not at least, realize just how rural it is in Baja. I thought it would be much more infrastructure, tourism. It is rural.
It is really, really rural. I don't even know how people get cash.
Yeah.
We were wondering that, what are the industries for people? Maybe they all get paid in cash. A lot of it is people fishing, and then and then coming in and selling it. It was really surprising to us how little infrastructure there was, even in the small towns. Because in America, the small towns, they all have a gas station. They all have a place where you can get an ATM, get some food, camp potentially for free. All that type of stuff that we're kind of used to. It is not widespread in Baja. You're going to find towns that don't have gas stations, that don't even have a grocery store. Maybe they have a bodega. That's it.
Yeah.
So you're really going to have to take advantage of the times when you're in towns that have all those things to get everything you could possibly need, and then enjoy the offerings that you come across in those small towns, because they're so much fun to go look at and see what they have available. There was one in Santa Rosalita that it was a grocery store off these people's homes. So you walk in and you can see their dining room, but they have a whole, practically a whole grocery store there.
It was nice. We got some good stuff there. Absolutely.
Yeah, and they had frozen meat, so they had a fridge full of frozen meat. Yeah. But you can't necessarily count on that for every town you go to. I wouldn't. No. And also, potentially, having a good restaurant, can't count on that either. No. I think Puertecitos had a grocery. It had a bodega / all-in-one grocery store. That's where I got the hot tamales from. And there was another grocery or bodega that was closed. We never saw it open, and a bar. Plan your gas, your grocery purchases, all that stuff around the big towns that you go to, and then you won't be scrambling to make a meal out of nothing. All right, and then we have a bonus item.
A bonus one. If you need internet and you don't have Starlink, it's going to be tough going.
Yeah, if you're going to work while traveling in Baja Mexico, like I did, like Carolyn from Carolyn's RV Life did, you're going to need Starlink.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else that could consistently offer us an internet signal, a strong internet signal with unlimited data other than Starlink.
Yeah.
If your internet service, your way of getting on the internet is cell-based, the center of Baja, from Baja California to Baja California Sur, you're not going to have cell service.
Yeah.
So our friend Ralph, he was on, there were 3 Starlinks. He didn't need to get Starlink. We all had Starlink. He was more than welcome to use our Starlink, and he did. However, he didn't have cell service for a long time. Since we left San Felipe to when we got to Guerrero Negro, I think. And we had a couple stops in between that, camping and exploring and stuff like that. So there was also certain things, like his messaging app wouldn't allow him to get his text messages unless he was on a cell signal. Even though he was connected to Starlink, it wouldn't let him. I think it's a Canadian thing. I don't know. But anyway, so he didn't get text messages for several weeks. And then of course we get to Guerrero Negro and bong, 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 bong. It's all going off. It's something to really consider.
Yeah.
We all think, oh, I can be off grid for a couple days, few days here or there. But even when you're traveling, what happens if something goes wrong while you're on the road to a place that has cell? We could just pull our Starlink out, throw it on the ground, and have cell service. And it's not necessarily a convenience thing. I think it's more of a safety thing. I would say it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life.
Even with not knowing these 10 things ahead of time. We had an amazing time.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would say also, adding on to all these items, the one piece of advice I would give anybody traveling down into Baja is you have to be flexible. You have to be willing to try and do and tolerate a lot of things that you wouldn't normally do, eat, try, tolerate. It's not going to be a place where you're totally comfortable 100% of the time. And I don't think that's the point. I don't think the point is to be comfortable 100% of the time. I think the point is to experience a world outside of your comfort zone. That's why we are in the RV in the first place. It's to live our life to the fullest. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more That RV Over There. We got some interesting places that we have gone to that we can't wait to show you. If you want to check out more of our Baja adventures, go ahead and click the playlist right here.
And if you aren't totally annoyed with us by now, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button right over here.